Your legs may be getting weaker every single day, and you might not even realize it. It often starts with small things. You need to push off the armrest just to stand up from a chair. Your thighs look thinner than they used to. You feel unsteady after standing for just a few minutes. Stairs that never used to bother you now leave you gripping the railing. These are not minor inconveniences. They are warning signs. Because when your legs lose strength, you do not just lose muscle. You start losing your balance, your confidence, your ability to move freely, and eventually your independence. Many people assume this is simply what happens when you get older, but that is not the whole truth. There are people in their 70s and 80s who still walk strong, stand tall, and move without fear. The difference often comes down to what they eat. Most seniors are told to eat spinach for stronger legs and bones. But here is the surprising part. Spinach is not actually the best choice. Today, I am going to show you two vegetables that support stronger legs, far better than spinach, and I will also reveal two common vegetables that many seniors eat regularly without knowing they may actually be making their legs weaker over time. Let us start with the first vegetable, and that is okra. But before I talk about okra, you need to understand something that most people get wrong about bones. For years, we have been told that bones are made of calcium and that taking more calcium is the answer to stronger bones. That is not the full picture. Your bones are actually made up of at least 12 different minerals, including calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, copper, manganese, and several others. If you focus only on calcium and ignore the rest, your bones remain incomplete and fragile no matter how many supplements you take. This is a mistake that affects an estimated 60% of adults over the age of 65 who take calcium supplements but still experience bone loss. Now, here is why okra is so remarkable. Okra contains 10 of the 12 minerals that make up your bone structure, all in one single vegetable. 1 cup of cooked okra provides approximately 82 milligrams of calcium, which is actually more than the same amount of spinach. But unlike spinach, which contains oxalates that block up to 95% of its calcium from being absorbed, the calcium in okra comes packaged with magnesium, phosphorus, and vitamin K that help your body actually use it. But okra does something that almost no other vegetable can do, and that is protect your joints at the same time. About 30% of adults over 60 suffer from some form of joint deterioration, and most of them focus entirely on bones while ignoring the joints that connect them. Okra contains a natural mucilage that hydrates connective tissues and improves water retention inside joint capsules. This mucilage is rich in polysaccharides that act like natural cushion boosters, protecting cartilage from degenerative breakdown and reducing collagen loss. Okra also provides manganese and copper, two minerals that directly support the repair and maintenance of joint tissue. On top of that, okra contains powerful anti-inflammatory compounds including quercetin and vitamin C that reduce the swelling and irritation responsible for joint pain. Studies show that chronic joint inflammation affects over 50% of seniors above 70. Okra's soluble fiber also improves gut health, and scientists have now discovered a direct connection called the gut-joint axis, where reducing inflammation in the gut leads to less inflammation in the joints, more synovial fluid production, and smoother movement overall. When you eat okra regularly, you are not just helping one part of your body. You are supporting your entire musculoskeletal system, from the bones to the joints to the connective tissues all at once. Now let me show you 3 simple ways to prepare okra so you can start enjoying these benefits right away. The first recipe is an okra and tomato stew. Start by washing about 20 pieces of fresh okra and cutting off the tops. Slice them into half-inch rounds and set them aside. In a pot, heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil over medium heat. Add 1 diced onion and cook it until it becomes soft and translucent. Then add 2 cloves of minced garlic and stir for about 30 seconds until you can smell the aroma. Now add 3 diced tomatoes and let them cook down for about 5 minutes until they start to break apart. Add your sliced okra to the pot and stir everything together. Season with salt, black pepper, and a small pinch of cayenne pepper if you enjoy a little heat. Pour in half a cup of water, cover the pot, and let it simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. The okra will soften and the sauce will thicken beautifully on its own. Serve this over rice or with a piece of crusty bread. It is simple, delicious, and loaded with the minerals your bones and joints need. The second recipe is roasted okra chips, and this one is perfect for anyone who does not like the slimy texture that okra sometimes has. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Take about 15 to 20 fresh okra pods, wash them, and pat them completely dry with a kitchen towel. This step is crucial because any moisture left on the surface will make them soggy instead of crispy. Cut the okra lengthwise into thin strips and place them on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Drizzle with 1 tablespoon of olive oil and toss them around to coat evenly. Sprinkle with salt, garlic powder, and a little paprika for extra flavor. Spread them out in a single layer, making sure they are not touching each other. Roast for 15 to 20 minutes, flipping them halfway through until they turn golden brown and crispy. These chips are a satisfying snack that gives you all of okra's joint-supporting benefits without the texture that some people find unpleasant. The third recipe is a warm and comforting okra soup. In a large pot, heat 2 tablespoons of oil over medium heat. Add 1 chopped onion and cook until soft. Add 2 cups of chopped okra and stir for a few minutes. Pour in 4 cups of vegetable or chicken broth and bring it to a boil. Add 1 diced potato, 1 diced carrot, and a handful of chopped greens. Season with salt, pepper, thyme, and a bay leaf. Let everything simmer for 25 to 30 minutes until the vegetables are tender and the flavors have blended together. The okra will naturally thicken the soup as it cooks, giving it a rich, hearty texture without needing any cream or flour. Remove the bay leaf before serving. This soup is warm, filling, and packed with nutrients that support your bones, joints, and overall leg strength. Now, okra is excellent for protecting your joints and providing a wide range of bone minerals, but the bone itself still needs specific vitamins and compounds to become truly dense and strong. That is exactly why you need the second vegetable I'm about to share with you. That second vegetable is broccoli, and there is a very good reason why mothers around the world have always tried to make their children eat it. 1 cup of cooked broccoli contains around 60 milligrams of calcium, and what makes this calcium special is that it is highly bioavailable, meaning your body can absorb and use it far more efficiently than calcium from many other sources, including spinach. But calcium is just the beginning of what broccoli offers your bones. The real power of broccoli lies in its vitamin K content, and this is one of the most overlooked nutrients in bone health. Most people believe that calcium and vitamin D are all you need for strong bones. But without vitamin K, the calcium you consume may never reach your bones at all. Here is how it works. Your bone cells produce a protein called osteocalcin, but this protein remains inactive until vitamin K switches it on. Once activated, osteocalcin acts like a guide that pulls calcium directly into your bone structure and locks it in place. Without enough vitamin K, calcium floats through your bloodstream and can end up depositing in your arteries and soft tissues where it causes harm instead of strength. This is exactly why an estimated 40% of seniors who take calcium supplements still experience bone loss. The calcium is going to the wrong places because there is not enough vitamin K to direct it properly. 1 single cup of broccoli gives you more than 100% of your daily vitamin K requirement, making it one of the most efficient ways to ensure your calcium actually reaches your bones. Broccoli is also rich in magnesium, a mineral that about 60% of your body stores directly in your bones. Most people do not realize that magnesium plays a critical role in determining whether your bones are resilient or brittle. Calcium makes bones hard, but magnesium gives them the flexibility to absorb impact without snapping. A bone that is dense but rigid will crack under pressure, while a bone with the right balance of calcium and magnesium can bend slightly and survive a fall. For seniors who face a 1 in 3 chance of experiencing a serious fall each year after the age of 65, this difference between rigid and flexible bones can mean the difference between walking away and ending up in a hospital bed. Broccoli also provides phosphorus, the second most abundant mineral in your bones after calcium. Phosphorus combines with calcium to form a compound called hydroxyapatite, which is the mineral complex that gives your bones their hardness and structural integrity. Without enough phosphorus, bones cannot maintain their framework and begin to weaken from the inside out. Seniors who are deficient in phosphorus often experience unexplained bone pain and muscle weakness because the internal architecture of their bones is slowly deteriorating. But broccoli goes even further with a compound called sulforaphane. This is a sulfur-based molecule that has been studied extensively in recent years. Sulforaphane fights bone loss by reducing chronic inflammation in bone tissue. This matters because when your body stays inflamed over long periods, it activates cells called osteoclasts, whose job is to break down bone. Research shows that chronic low-grade inflammation accelerates bone loss by up to 20% in adults over 60. Sulforaphane helps calm this inflammatory response, slowing the rate at which your bones are broken down and giving your body more time to rebuild. Finally, broccoli is an excellent source of vitamin C, which is essential for producing collagen. Collagen is the protein framework that gives your bones their structure and flexibility. Think of it as the scaffolding that holds everything together. After the age of 50, collagen production decreases by roughly 1% per year, which is one reason bones become weaker and more prone to fractures as you age. The vitamin C in broccoli stimulates the cells responsible for producing new collagen and protects existing collagen from breaking down. When you combine all of these nutrients together, calcium, vitamin K, magnesium, phosphorus, sulforaphane, and vitamin C, broccoli does not just support bone density. It supports bone quality, which is just as important when it comes to preventing fractures and keeping your legs strong and stable for years to come. Now, let me share 3 delicious ways to prepare broccoli so you can get the most out of these bone-building benefits. The first recipe is steamed broccoli with garlic and lemon. Cut your broccoli into florets and steam them for 5 to 7 minutes until they are tender but still bright green. You do not want to overcook them because that destroys much of the vitamin C and sulforaphane. While the broccoli steams, heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a small pan and add 3 cloves of minced garlic. Cook for about 1 minute until the garlic becomes fragrant but not brown. Transfer the steamed broccoli to a bowl, drizzle the garlic oil over it, and squeeze half a fresh lemon on top. Add a pinch of salt and pepper to taste. This recipe is not just simple and quick. The lemon juice provides extra vitamin C, which actually helps your body absorb more of the calcium and minerals from the broccoli. It is one of the easiest meals you can make and one of the most effective for your bones. The second recipe is a broccoli and cheese bake that feels indulgent but is actually packed with bone-supporting nutrients. Steam 4 cups of broccoli florets for just 4 minutes so they still have some firmness. Place them in a greased baking dish and spread them out evenly. In a separate bowl, mix together 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, half a cup of Greek yogurt, 2 beaten eggs, and a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan. Pour this mixture evenly over the broccoli. Bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 to 30 minutes until the top turns golden and bubbly. This recipe works on multiple levels because the cheese adds extra calcium and vitamin K2. The yogurt provides beneficial probiotics alongside more calcium, and the eggs deliver vitamin D, which helps your bones absorb everything more effectively. It tastes like comfort food, but it is actually working hard for your bone health with every bite. The third recipe is a broccoli stir-fry with sesame seeds. Heat 2 tablespoons of sesame oil in a large pan or wok over high heat. Add 3 cups of broccoli florets and stir-fry them for 3 to 4 minutes until they are bright green with slightly charred edges. Add a clove of minced garlic and a small piece of freshly grated ginger and cook for another 30 seconds. In a small bowl, mix together 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, and 1 teaspoon of honey. Pour this sauce over the broccoli and toss everything together for about 1 minute until the florets are evenly coated. Transfer to a plate and sprinkle generously with toasted sesame seeds. This final touch is more important than you might think because sesame seeds are one of the richest plant sources of both calcium and magnesium, adding even more bone-strengthening power to an already nutrient-dense meal. This stir-fry takes less than 10 minutes from start to finish, and it delivers a combination of minerals that your legs and bones will genuinely benefit from. Now, eating broccoli and okra together gives your legs and bones powerful support from multiple directions. Okra protects your joints, hydrates your connective tissues, and provides a broad spectrum of bone minerals. Broccoli strengthens the bones themselves with highly absorbable calcium, directs that calcium into the right places with vitamin K, and fights the inflammation that breaks bones down over time. But here is something important that many seniors do not realize. Even if you eat the right vegetables every day, there are 2 common vegetables that millions of people consume regularly that may actually be undermining all of that good work. These vegetables can quietly steal calcium from your bones, block mineral absorption, and promote the very inflammation that weakens your legs. Let me tell you what they are so you can protect yourself. The first vegetable you need to be careful with is pickled cucumbers. Now, I know this might surprise you because many seniors eat pickled cucumbers regularly as a snack or add them to sandwiches and salads, thinking they are eating something healthy. After all, it is still a vegetable, right? Unfortunately, when a cucumber goes through the pickling process, it becomes a completely different food and not in a good way for your bones. The biggest problem is sodium. When cucumbers are pickled, they are soaked in a brine solution that is extremely high in salt. One single serving of pickled cucumbers can contain anywhere from 300 to 800 milligrams of sodium, and some popular brands contain even more than that. To put this in perspective, The American Heart Association recommends that adults consume no more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day, and ideally closer to 1,500 milligrams for seniors. That means just one serving of pickled cucumbers can use up nearly half of your entire daily sodium allowance in a single snack. Now, here is why this is so dangerous for your bones. When you consume excessive sodium, your kidneys have to work overtime to flush the excess out through your urine. But sodium does not leave your body alone. It drags calcium out with it. Research shows that for every 2,300 milligrams of sodium you consume, your body loses approximately 40 to 60 milligrams of calcium through urination. That is calcium your bones desperately need to stay strong, and it is being washed away every single time you eat something high in sodium. For seniors whose bones are already losing an average of 1 to 2% of their density per year after the age of 50, this additional calcium loss accelerates the problem significantly. But the damage does not stop with sodium. Pickled cucumbers are also acidic because of the vinegar used in the pickling process. When your body processes too much acidic food, it needs to neutralize that acidity to maintain a safe pH level in your blood. The way it does this is by pulling alkaline minerals from the largest mineral reserve in your body, which is your bones. And the primary alkaline mineral stored in your bones is calcium. So you are being hit from two directions at once. The sodium is flushing calcium out through your kidneys, and the acidity is pulling even more calcium directly from your bone structure. There is also a third problem that most people overlook. The pickling process destroys most of the beneficial nutrients that fresh cucumbers actually contain. Fresh cucumbers have vitamin K, magnesium, and a mineral called silica that strengthens connective tissues in your bones and joints. By the time a cucumber has been sitting in brine and vinegar, most of these nutrients are gone. So you are eating something that actively removes calcium from your bones, while providing almost nothing to help rebuild them. It is a net loss every single time. The healthier option is simple. Eat fresh cucumbers instead. They still give you that satisfying crunch. They contain vitamin K to help your bones hold onto calcium. They provide silica for stronger connective tissues, and they are naturally hydrating with small amounts of magnesium and potassium that support bone health. If you want extra flavor, slice fresh cucumbers and add a squeeze of lemon juice, some fresh herbs like dill or mint, and just a tiny pinch of sea salt. You get all the taste and crunch without the bone-destroying sodium and acidity. Your legs and bones will thank you for making this one simple switch. The second vegetable you need to reconsider is corn. Now, I understand that corn is one of the most popular and widely consumed vegetables in the world. It shows up on dinner plates, in soups, in salads, and as a side dish at almost every family gathering. Most people consider it a perfectly healthy choice. But when it comes to your bone health and leg strength, corn may be quietly working against you in several important ways. The first and most significant problem is phytic acid, also known as phytate. Corn contains a substantial amount of this compound, and phytic acid is classified as an anti-nutrient for a very specific reason. When you eat corn, the phytic acid binds to essential minerals like calcium, magnesium, and zinc inside your digestive tract before your body has a chance to absorb them. These are three of the most critical minerals for maintaining strong bones, and the phytic acid essentially blocks your body from using them. For seniors who already experience a natural decline in nutrient absorption efficiency of approximately 30 to 40% compared to younger adults, this mineral blocking effect becomes even more damaging over time. You could be eating a meal that contains good amounts of calcium and magnesium, but if corn is sitting on the same plate, a significant portion of those minerals may pass right through your body without ever reaching your bones. The second issue is that corn has a remarkably poor nutritional profile when it comes to bone health. Compared to vegetables like okra and broccoli, corn contains very little calcium, minimal vitamin K, and low amounts of magnesium. What corn primarily provides is carbohydrates and calories. 1 cup of corn contains roughly 31 grams of carbohydrates, but almost none of the bone-building nutrients that your body actually needs. When seniors fill their plates with corn, they are essentially taking up space that could be occupied by vegetables that actively strengthen their bones and support their legs. The third concern is corn's relatively high glycemic index. Corn ranks between 60 and 70 on the glycemic scale, which means it causes noticeable blood sugar spikes after eating. Research has shown that frequent blood sugar fluctuations increase calcium excretion through urine, similar to what happens with excessive sodium intake. Studies also suggest that diets consistently high in glycemic foods promote chronic inflammation throughout the body. For seniors, this creates a double threat. You are losing calcium through your urine while simultaneously fueling the inflammatory processes that activate osteoclasts, the cells responsible for breaking down bone tissue. Over months and years, this combination quietly erodes bone density and contributes to weaker legs. There is also the problem of omega fatty acid imbalance. Corn and corn-based products, including corn oil, are very high in omega-6 fatty acids, while containing almost no omega-3 fatty acids. The ideal ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 in your diet should be somewhere around 4 to 1, but diets heavy in corn can push this ratio to 15 to 1, or even higher. This imbalance is a well-documented driver of chronic inflammation, and chronic inflammation has been directly linked to accelerated bone loss in older adults. An estimated 60% of seniors who experience unexplained bone weakening have elevated inflammatory markers in their blood, and dietary imbalances like excessive omega-6 intake are a major contributing factor. So what should you eat instead of corn? Focus on vegetables that actively build and protect your bones rather than interfering with mineral absorption. Okra and broccoli, as we already discussed, are excellent choices. Sweet potatoes are rich in magnesium and potassium, which directly support bone structure. Brussels sprouts are packed with vitamin K, calcium, and anti-inflammatory compounds. Butternut squash provides magnesium along with vitamin C for collagen production. These alternatives deliver the nutrients your bones genuinely need to stay strong, and they work with your body rather than against it. I am not saying you can never eat corn again, but if you are a senior who is concerned about bone health and leg strength, it is worth being honest about how often corn appears on your plate, and whether replacing some of those servings with bone-building vegetables could make a real difference over time. Small dietary shifts like this are often the ones that produce the biggest long-term results. Now, let me bring everything together. Strong legs are not just about exercise. They are built from the inside out by the nutrients you feed your bones, joints, and connective tissues every single day. Okra protects your joints with its natural mucilage, hydrates your connective tissues, reduces inflammation through the gut-joint axis, and delivers 10 of the 12 minerals your bones are made of. Broccoli strengthens the bones themselves with highly absorbable calcium, directs that calcium into the right places with vitamin K, gives bones flexibility with magnesium, fights inflammatory bone loss with sulforaphane, and supports collagen production with vitamin C. Together, these two vegetables cover your entire musculoskeletal system from multiple angles. At the same time, reducing your intake of pickled cucumbers protects you from unnecessary calcium loss caused by excessive sodium and acidity, and being mindful about corn prevents the mineral blocking and inflammatory effects that quietly weaken your bones over time. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these vegetables do you eat most often? Have you been eating corn or pickled cucumbers regularly without realizing what they might be doing to your bones? Let me know in the comments below because I read and reply to every single one. If you found this information helpful, please subscribe to this channel for more simple and practical tips to keep your bones strong and your legs steady as you age. Hit the like button, share this with someone in your family who needs to hear it, and remember that stronger legs and better mobility are absolutely achievable at any age when you give your body the right fuel to rebuild itself.